Hey guys, welcome back to Gotta Get Running. I'm Phil Hargis. It's good to see you again. Spring racing season is in full bloom here. We've had some great races here in Washington, D.C. We've had the Rock and Roll National, Rock and Roll USA Half Marathon and Marathon. And we'll have a new champion in that race, but we also have the Cherry Blossom. But let me go and bring in my co-host tonight. We have sitting in for Chris Farlow, we got Mike Wardian. Mike, it's good to see you again, man.
Hey, thank you very much. It's good to be here.
So last time we saw you, you were getting ready for probably summertime and some of the North Face races. I think we'll get to that stuff here shortly. But It's been a busy year for you, I know, man. Why don't you tell us what's been going on with you since the last time we saw you?
Yeah, I guess I can't remember the last time I saw you, but I think I may have been after the Olympic trials last year or something. And then I was getting ready for some races around the world. I ended up getting myself hurt, so I had my first bout of injuries.
And Mike Wardian never gets hurt, so this was new to you.
Yeah. So this was completely new. I decided that I was going to get them all, I guess, at the same time. So I got some plantar fasciitis. I got some stress fractures. I got some hernias. I crashed my bike. I basically had a pretty rough go of it. Definitely not as rough as some people, but yeah, so it's been interesting coming back from physical therapy, coming back from a surgery, rebuilding up my fitness, trying to maintain fitness while you're injured.
So let's give the viewers some idea. So you had a series of injuries, not presumably all at the same time, but in different.
No, basically, yeah.
They literally did it happen all at the same time.
No, well, I think most of 2012 I was hurt, and then it all kind of culminated. I went to the Olympics with my wife just to watch it, and came back. We were getting ready for a big race in France called UTMB. It's a big North Face race.
That was a big one for you.
Yeah, that was the one I was kind of focusing most of the year on, and I got hurt about the week leading up to it, where I couldn't run at all, and it turned out I had 5 stress fractures of my pelvis, and then there was also my stomach had felt loose for most of the year, so it turned out I had 2 sports hernias and then 3 inguinal hernias. The kind of ones I couldn't tell. The ones that poke. The iguanals or inguinals poke out a little bit, and they didn't really poke out on me. So
was this something that all happened at once, or had this been gradually leading up to this moment?
I think they were definitely occurring over the course of the year, but it all kind of culminated at the middle part of August last year. And then I had the surgery at the end of November.
For the hernias?
For the hernias,
okay.
Yeah, because usually they thought that they might naturally just heal with, if you cut back on your training, then sometimes if people feel like the sports hernias might heal, but...
Now, did you cut back on your training, or did you have to eliminate it entirely?
Yeah, I had to eliminate running, so I couldn't do any type of weight-bearing exercise, so I basically did aqua jogging, cycling, so I never actually had to stop cycling, which was nice. Aqua jogging, and then I was able to do spinning and weightlifting and stuff like that.
Okay, I mean aqua jogging, you're talking about just going to a pool and running laps?
Running for 4 hours, yeah.
Yeah, I had an injury myself, an Achilles problem back in the fall. I was doing some aqua jogging. I liked it, man, but I had to do it for way longer than you really need to run for. So.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's still a good workout, and I think it felt like it kept my fitness up, pretty decent.
Yeah. It's an unbelievable workout actually, and it does keep your fitness up.
Does it keep it up enough though, to the levels that you're accustomed to?
I think that no, but I think it could if you were, I was going a couple times a week. Probably 4 or so, and I think that it definitely helped maintain the fitness level, but I don't think there's anything that can substitute for running.
And even biking, does that help you? How would you say that translates to helping you maintain fitness?
I think that helps a lot, yeah. I think cycling is unbelievably helpful for running and maintaining fitness. It's just, if you want to get the same effect as doing a 20-mile run, you have to cycle for 4 hours, which is tough with a family and a job and everything like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you can get a 20-mile run done. I'm lucky I can get it done usually in a couple hours, so it's about double the time if you want to cycle. So.
Yeah, and But there's a lot of good trails around here. But if you really want to get a good workout, and you probably have to take your bike out to Shenandoah or something, maybe.
Yeah, and I actually did that. It was cool because I actually rode Shenandoah. That's something that had always been on my bucket list. And so when I got hurt, I was like, I'm gonna do it now.
Make some use of the time.
Yeah, so I was able to do like that. I think it's like 105 miles with like 10,000 feet of climbing and stuff like that. So I did that with the stress fractures, and it was fine. And I was able to still go to events and be a part of them. I'd just ride my bike and help my brother do Marine Corps, and had like a mobile aid station at some of the races. And
okay, so you made it back in time. You were running again in time for Marine Corps?
No.
Oh, you weren't.
No,
you
my
were
brother
on a bike
ran
that day, right?
Yeah.
You were out there for support along the course.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, awesome, man. So
so I didn't start running again until the middle of January or so. And then I did my first race at the Miami half marathon. I ran like 1:18, which I was really excited about.
Okay, so how does that feel when you're used to running a certain time and at an effort, so to speak, like to come back and run that 1:18 your first run back? Like how hard was that for you?
It was unbelievably exciting.
It was awesome. It was exciting. Okay,
yeah,
great.
no, I wasn't sure. The whole race, I thought like something was going to break, or I was going to rip something, or something was going to tear. And then like each mile, I got more and more confident. And, I just wanted to break 6-minute miles, which was basically what I did. And, coming off of like 20, 30 miles a week, I was really excited about that. And then I did another half marathon like the week later, and I ran like 1:15.
That was my old stomping grounds, right?
Yeah, in Tallahassee, yeah. And I was silly. I wore the wrong colors. I wore the Gator colors. Like,
Should've talked to me, man.
Yeah, I know. I should have known, right?
Yeah.
And so then
garnet and gold, man, just like the Redskins.
I know. Yeah. Well, now I know. Like I knew that, but I didn't. I didn't plan my wardrobe accordingly.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, and so then each race I've seen significant improvements, and I've had some good results, and I'm just getting stronger every week, and it's just super exciting when I have some runs now that feel like even better than I did most of last year or so. That's encouraging, and as the miles get better and I get more miles, I think that the times are gonna show that.
So you're still doing a heavy dose of cross training with the bike then, in addition to your, I know you bike a lot to work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, are you doing additional training with the bike just to ease yourself back into the running, or are you back to?
I'm back to, there is some additional training with the bike, and then the biking to work, and then I'm up to about 65, 70 miles a week now, which is
As opposed to what?
Like 100 to 120 miles is what I was running. So it's good. Like I'm taking it pretty slow, but steady and gradually, and each week I'm feeling stronger, and I'm able to. A couple weeks ago I was able to start adding in some track work and some faster stuff, and I was able to do a 3K Masters race.
Yeah. Tell us about that real quick.
That was awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, that was my first time.
And where
running.
was that?
That was at Prince George's County facility indoor track over right near FedEx Field where the Redskins play. And that was cool. It was my first time being on the track in over a year or so, and I ran like 9:24 for the 3K, which I was really excited about. I was actually leading the race until the last lap, and then I got third. 2 guys went around me, which was fun.
It's a different probably style of racing than.
Yeah, no, I was just so excited to be running that fast. I didn't really care. I didn't want to like play the game. I just wanted to run as fast as I could.
Yeah, it's funny, man. There's just such a huge sense of excitement, because I was basically from like Marine Corps weekend through New Year's was basically off and doing the tread running with my Achilles thing too. And it was just like at the beginning of the year, it's just like so exciting and such a happy feeling to be like back out there on the roads and the Potomac Heritage Trail. Even if they were like, for me, it was like 15-20 minute runs to ease myself back into it.
Yeah.
But then to like get your first good long run, it's just awesome to be back out there, man.
Oh, I know.
Regardless of how much slower,
I agree completely. Like,
it's awesome.
just to be out there running, and like however that's occurring is heaven. Like I've been saying, it's like bliss. So each and every run I take as a treat, and I thought I was appreciative of my running before this, but yeah, and it's like doubled.
All All right, cool. So what's the plan then, man? How long do you think it's going to be until you're back to, quote, 100% strength? Do you have any idea or any forecast at the progress levels you're going now? Have you thought about it, or you just...
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, I've had some good progress. I mean, I went 3:14 for a 50K and then 2:42 for my first marathon, which was like my third run over 15 miles. And then the week after that, I ran the rock and roll, and each mile I kept up with the...
Well, that's a good metric for you. The rock and roll this year compared to past marathon, like...
Yeah, so I ran 2:34 this year. I think the year before I was 2:26 or 2:28. And that was like the 2:34 was on like 40 miles a week. So, I think as I keep building up, I ran like Boston this past Monday, and I just did it as a training run. I didn't take any nutrition or anything like that, and ran 3:42, and it felt like unbelievably easy. And I actually ran in front of my friend and back and up and down Heartbreak Hill a couple times to like get some footage. So
how many miles did your GPS thing say after you were done with the race?
I think it was like 20, 27 or 28 or something. Just because I was messing around, but it was.
Because you don't necessarily always get a chance to go out and like have all these run a race for fun. I mean, a lot of times you're in the thick of things and.
Exactly, yeah, and it was nice just to run with my buddy and make sure that he was okay and got through the race fine. And so yeah, I've really been enjoying it, and I had my first bad race, which I figure is going to happen as I'm coming back at Cherry Blossom. I was a little sick going into it, and I ran like 56 minutes, which is one of my slowest times ever for 10 miles.
So I do have something I got to bring up with you. So if you're looking for one more fun run, I know that there was a group of running bunnies that actually beat you out for like the best running personality here in DC.
I saw that, yeah.
I know that girl, man. Maybe you could get like into one of their bunny costumes.
Well, I think it was anyone in a costume is our favorite running celebrity. So.
Can't believe you lost that to a bunch of bunnies.
I know. I didn't know we were in a competition, but next time I'll be cognizant of it and see if I can rally the troops.
So great, man. It sounds like you're back here. I looked at your calendar today. You got a bunch of stuff going on here. Why don't you take us through what you got on tap coming up here, and for most of the rest of the year, if things go as planned.
Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting year. I've again been building up kind of slow. For me. So just a couple marathons, a 50K. I did Boston this past week. Luckily, everything went okay with that, and it was a really sad experience in a lot of ways, but something that I think is going to really inspire me. I was telling someone today, like, it's going to keep me running Boston until I'm 100. That's just going to be what I do. It's the race that got me into running, and it's the race I think that, if I ever have to stop running, I'd like that to be my last race, probably.
Your first and your last.
Yeah. Next week I'm going to do, I'm flying out with my family, and I are going to head out to San Francisco, and we're going to do the Big Sur Marathon, which is one of those iconic races. I actually have the record for the fastest Boston and Big Sur combination. Obviously, cool. I'm not getting it this year since I ran with my buddy, but
good practice for next year.
Yeah, exactly, and it'll be really neat. The people in Big Sur are super nice supporters of me, and I'm excited. I was hoping to go out there last year, and we had some trouble with Grant.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, and so I wasn't able to make it. So I'm excited to go back.
And Big Sur is actually a fairly one of the more challenging marathons, isn't that right?
Yeah, it's pretty challenging. You can run pretty fast there, though, if you run it right. And if you get good weather, if you get a headwind or something like that, then it can be a little bit more exciting. But if you get good weather and you can run it, I think you can run pretty fast. So I'm looking to try and set I've readjusted like all my personal bests now. I'm just saying like 2013 personal bests. So like I'm trying to make it very current.
So like you can get one PR after the other, basically.
Well, yeah, and I think that's really the way you have to do it, because it's eventually I think I'll be back in that form. So I'd like to run faster than 2:34 and be in contention to try to be in the mix for the win. Then the week after that, I've got the a world record attempt at the Pittsburgh Marathon Expo on the treadmill. So I'm going to try to break my own world record, which is I need to go like sub 110, which I'm kind of excited about. You know, that'll be like 5:20 pace or so. So if I can hold that, that'll bode well.
So that's the record for the half marathon?
Yeah.
And then do you still hold the record for the full marathon on
I
treadmill?
don't know.
Okay.
My friend Eric Blake has that. So that's like 2:21.
Okay, so you'll be in Pittsburgh for the expo. Are you going to do the full marathon the next day, or?
I'm not sure yet. They gave me that option, and I think I'm planning to come back. So I think I'll probably not do that, just to try to. I'm trying to, be a little bit more disciplined about racing all the time. Like I love it. I may do the Delaware Marathon. I need to decide if I'm going to do that. I'm signed up for the Vermont City Marathon at the end of May, which is another one of my favorite races. I've been there.
You've won that one before.
I've never won it, actually.
Yeah.
I've been there runner-up like 4 or 5 times. So I've always been like the bridesmaid and never the bride. So they always get good competition. So it'll be fun to be, part of the elite field for that, or the invited runners. And they're good friends of mine, so I'm excited to go back there and take the family. Then I'm got the week after that, the North Face 50 miler here in DC, which will be a big race for me. Coming back, that'll be my big first longer ultra. And then I'm going to do the San Francisco Marathon, so going back out to San Francisco. I was second there last year, and I'd like to try and redeem myself and try to win that again. I won it a couple years ago. And then I have a race for North Face Endurance Challenge in Costa Rica. And then I'm going to stay down there and do it's a 50-mile race in Costa Rica, and then do the next weekend a 50-mile race in Quito, or in Ecuador.
In Ecuador, okay.
And then in between there, I'm going to run the Grand Canyon, the rim to rim to rim.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know about that one.
Yeah, well, it's not. It's just for fun. It's going to be my brother.
There's a set trail that you know about that you can.
Yeah. There's a pretty well-known crossing that a lot of ultra runners do. And when I got hurt, it was on my bucket list always to do it. Kind of like riding Shenandoah. Doing some of these other events that I've always wanted to do and haven't made time to do. And so when I was hurt, I was like, I'm doing some things on my bucket list because you never know what's going to happen. So yeah, I'm going to go with my brother, my friend Andy, and my friend Spencer, and we're all going to go out and it's going to be a long day. Everybody's just going to.
How many miles did you say that was again?
I think the way we're going, it's going to be between 46 and 50 miles. So you go down the south side, past Phantom Ranch, and then up the north side, and then back. So it's called rim to rim to rim.
Okay.
And so it'll just be a fun run. It'll probably be like 14 to 16 hours of moving. And
Is that in June or July?
No, it's in May.
Oh, it's in May. Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be Mother's Day weekend. We get back right on Mother's Day. So that Jennifer is going to have a nice day.
Good.
And hopefully I'll have done one of the things on my bucket list.
Excellent, man. So then you have an ultra right after the Ecuador trip then, right? A 100-miler?
Yeah, I've got a Burning River 100-miler in July. There's the Pearson Grant Indoor Marathon again that I think has just got set up for middle of July. And then I'm signed up for the UTMB again in France.
That'd be great.
And then I'm one of the elite coordinators for the Ultra Race of Champions. It moved out to Vail this year in September.
I did that 50K last year. That was
fun. It was really cool, yeah. I was hoping to go down there, but it didn't work out with the injury. Mm-hmm. And then...
So is that an idea then, just a quick sidetrack, are they going to plan on moving that to different locations every year, or has it found a new home out there, do you know? Or
I think they're going to try to have it out in Vail. It's become part of the Sky Running series.
Right.
So one of the requirements is kind of have it at altitude and make it a kind of a little bit more challenging.
Oh, man. We'll have to do another show on Sky Running sometime.
Yeah, so it should be really cool, and it's got, I know just from being one of the coordinators, it's got like a humongously deep field with just studs and studettes from all over the world coming in for it.
Max King won the 100K last year. So.
I know, yeah.
After getting lost for like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know, you can relate to it.
Yeah, I can totally relate to it. I think Sage got lost with him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I completely empathize with those guys. Those guys are great runners. Then, so yeah, I can see how that would happen.
And Marine Corps, you gonna be back for that this year? Do you know, or a fall marathon? Like
Definitely some fall marathons, and then I think in August we can start qualifying again for the Olympic trials. And so that's one of my goals, is to qualify again for the Olympic trials. And then a big race on my calendar this year is going to be the 100K World Championship. So that's going to hopefully be one of the big focuses for the year, and that's going to be at the end of October, early November in Durban, South Africa.
Okay. Durban, South Africa. Cool.
Yeah.
They always do it somewhere nice.
Yeah, it was supposed to be in Korea, and then that fell through, and so Durban picked it up.
I don't think they should do it in Korea right now.
Yeah, maybe that's why it fell through. Well, it was supposed to be on this resort island called Juji Island, which is off the coast of Korea. So it's supposedly pretty nice. I think they have a triathlon out there, and it's kind of, Korea's got I think Asia in general has got a really good ultra running 100K community, so it would have been cool to race in Asia for sure for those distances, and just because everyone there really is passionate about ultra running. But if you're going to have an ultra running race too, South Africa, you can't go wrong. Those people really understand ultras and what it takes to put on a good race. So.
Shoot, Comrades is probably coming up pretty soon, huh?
It is, yeah. I'm sad. I'm gonna miss it. It's the same weekend as the North Face DC race.
Okay, so let's go ahead and segue into North Face then. So I know the calendar here. Let's talk about the North Face races. I know they're a big sponsor of yours.
Yeah.
And I also need to know about these international races they have now.
Yeah, they have a bunch of international races. They have coming up. They have the Ultra Trail Day Mount Fuji, which is kind of like UTMB in that you circumnavigate Mount Fuji outside of Tokyo.
Cool.
So that is, yeah, it's supposedly a pretty tough race, but also just really fantastic. So that I think is going to be a really neat event. They have a bunch of 100Ks around the world. In the Blue Mountains of Australia, they have a 100K. They have the Canadian Death Race, I think, is one of their races. They have the endurance challenges.
And where in Canada is that one? Do you know?
I think it's the Canadian Rockies, but I'm not sure where exactly. Then they have there's a big
death race, guys.
Yeah, the death race, and I've seen the shirts, and
yeah,
no, it looks super cool. So that's one that's definitely
on your radar.
Yeah, definitely on my radar. They have some races in North Face Hong Kong, like another 100K. My friend Cami from North Face has done that, and that's one that's on my radar. They have one in Singapore that looks really neat. There's a big growing trail running presence in Central and South America, so there's races. The ones I'm going to do, I'm really excited about the Costa Rica and Ecuador. But then there's also some in Chile and Brazil. So I'd like to try to get down there because it's just one of those places where it's just exploding, like it is all over the world.
In South America.
Central and South America.
Central and South America.
Yeah, and the contact for the North Face there, the guy in charge, this guy Max, is just a super cool guy, and so I'm hoping to do that.
They have a ton of foreign races. I had no idea. I mean, it almost makes the U.S. calendar look small, but they're getting ready to get in a full season here with their American races as well.
Yeah, and they have a pretty amazingly diverse amount of U.S. endurance challenges too, which have always looked neat to me. They got Bear Mountain coming up, then they got D.C., they got Atlanta.
In Wisconsin,
and then the big race, the big one that brings out all the boys and girls at the end of the year is the one in San Fran. So I'm hoping to be able to do that at the end of the year.
And that's around the beginning of December. A good way to start the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, it's the first weekend in December normally.
So you're gonna be in the North Face 50. What are some of the other events for people that can't handle 50 miles that they offer out there at?
Well, that's actually that's a pretty cool thing about the endurance challenges. So they have all different distances for different people just to get them into trail running, and then for people that are more advanced, so they have 5K, I think 10K, half marathon. And something I should mention about the half marathon this year that's going to be really cool, I think, is Traditionally, it starts out at Algonquian Park, the half marathon, and you basically run, you know, I don't know, halfway. So like 6.5 miles or so, or 11 kilometers out, and then you turn around and run back. So you get like 21K or half marathon. This year, they're gonna start the race, the half marathon, in Great Falls. So it's gonna be a point-to-point back to Algonquian. So you'll start in Great Falls, and you'll get a point-to-point course, and that's kind of the prettiest part of the course is when you're coming back, you get those bumps right along the Potomac. It'll be on your right-hand side. You'll have no one, you know, there's not going to be any cross traffic, so you're not going to have to dodge people. I think it's going to be really well done. They're going to shuttle you out to Great Falls. So that's going to be neat. And then you have the marathon relay, and you have, I think, the marathon, and then you have the 50K and the 50 miles. So there's all different distances. The shorter events are on Sunday, and then the longer events are on Saturday. So like the 50 mile, 50K marathon and marathon relay are gonna be on Saturday. And then the 5K, 10K, and half marathon will be on Sunday.
And we'll definitely tell you guys how to get in touch with signing up, registering for those races, because they do sell out. They're very popular. I haven't been out to one. I got to make it out one of these years and check out a race.
Oh yeah, man, especially because you do the Potomac Heritage all the time, so. Yeah.
Totally got to check it out, man.
Yeah, it's a fantastic event.
Well, great, man. That's going to be awesome. I know that they have stuff for the kids, the family, so like bring them all out there. Lots of cool stuff.
Yeah, they have a really amazing finish line, lots of kids things. They do a kids run both days with Carno kids, getting kids outside. So they have booths and expos and good food at the end, and it's a good time.
Good time, man. It's good to see you back on the roads, man.
Oh, man,
thanks for
a lot.
coming out, man.
Yeah.
It's really great to see you out here. Sounds like you have a super busy year. Like, you know, most people come back and have a couple of races, and you know, Mike, you got a full schedule. As we would totally expect from you, man.
Well, yeah, and the cool thing is it's all subject to my recovery going well and everything being all right. So like, there's no pressure from anybody to do more than I need to.
Okay. Well, listen, great to see you again, man. Have a healthy, awesome year, man. We'll do it again soon, and there's always tons of stuff to talk about in this great running community here in Washington, D.C.
Well, thanks very much.
All right, thanks a lot, buddy.
Yep.
And thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time on Gotta Get Running. Bye-bye, everybody.